Hey guys, I want to show you one of the supplemental things I've been doing during quarantine to stay fit. Let's go. That is a lot harder than it looks, I promise you. Got some food. Oh yeah, shout out to Derpy for this amazing British spread. It's like grape preserves. Oh my god, it is literally the best thing ever. I swear to god. So today we're gonna be revisiting why I don't want kids. It has been 5 years since I posted my first video, which had horrible audio. Instead of actually going back and reiterating everything I already said, because I basically feel exactly the same, I'm just a little bit more eloquent than I was back then. I've decided to take some of the most critical comments from that video and respond to those points that you guys feel, apparently based on the number of comments that I got on those topics, are the most important reasons why I am wrong and still should have kids. I think there's about 3 points and then there's 1 or 2 meme points that I'm gonna get to that are interesting. But yes, it is 5 years later, still no maternal instinct whatsoever. Once again, if you guys want to watch the initial video, it will be up here in the cards, or is it this side? I don't know. And it will also be down in the description, so if you want to know my initial points, you're gonna have to boost the volume all the way up. But you can go watch that video for all of the reasons why I don't want to have kids. But just like that video, I want to reiterate that this is just my personal opinion and what I want from my life. It has nothing to do with you. I don't pass judgment onto you if you don't live the same way that I do. Please do whatever you feel like doing. I think that people who tell you that you need to adopt or you need to not have kids because the world is so fucked up and we're so overpopulated, I think those people are just as bad as the people who continuously tell me I need to have kids when I don't want to. I'm 100% not one of those people. You do whatever makes you happy and what you think is right. Now, the first comment I want to address is the one that was by far the most prevalent in the comment section. And it is, let me put this away, the idea that you're either selfish, egotistical, or narcissistic if you don't want to have kids and you just want to live your life, loving your life and doing what you want to do rather than sacrificing 18 plus years for a child that you don't know until you meet them and then you only love them because of chemicals in the brain. Which I guess you can argue is all love, but I feel like I'm choosing who I love and I prefer that much better as a logical person. So anyway, my retort to this is, oh my god, there is nothing more egotistical, selfish, or narcissistic than having a child. Most people want to have a child so they can see what it looks like to combine these two people together, the man that they love or the woman that they love in themselves, and see themselves in this child and then mold this. I'm sorry, I need to stop this voice because it's really condescending and it's not gonna get my point across. You guys are just gonna push back wholly if you keep hearing me mock you, basically. I apologize for that. That was very petty of me. Stop it, Tara. Now again, I don't judge because it's not my place to, and I don't care unless someone tries to say that I am narcissistic for doing the anti-narcissistic thing here. But if you're raising a child in your image with your values, the way you want it to be, pushing them to do things that you never got to do, wanting to see what they look like with the genetics of the person that you chose to love, wanting to pass on or build a legacy, I can't think of anything more narcissistic than that. I'm sorry. I really don't have anything else to say on this anyway, so let's move on to the next point. The other super big point that I've heard from a lot of people as to why they have kids is they don't want to die alone, or people will claim that I'm going to die alone if I don't have children to come visit me in the nursing home when I'm older. First of all, another really selfish reason to have children, don't you think? If you really think about it, having children just so they can take care of you and be burdened by you when you're much older really doesn't seem like a good reason to have children. I would personally actually feel bad if I obligated my child just because my child is another human being with their own interests and their own time management problems. If they felt obligated to come see me or come take care of me or were financially burdened by me, I would not want that in any way. And still, when I'm older, I would want the people surrounding me who I choose to surround me. And if those people are random old folks from an old folks home that I chose to be my friends in my later years, then sure, that's who I want around me. It doesn't have to be children. They don't have to be related to me by blood in order for me to have companionship. In fact, why would I want to hang out with grandchildren or great-grandchildren who, again, I have nothing in common with because I'm an older person with so much more experience and different interests? Why would I want that coming to visit me in the old folks home, feeling obligated to do so and probably would rather be outside riding bikes or something, when I can just hang out with with a bunch of 90-year-old dudes who are really into like philosophy or were war veterans, so I like try to suck their flaccid dicks. Why wouldn't I do that? Why wouldn't that be more interesting? Another thing to this point is a lot of people seem to not have hobbies or be comfortable being alone with themselves, and I feel like this quarantine has really brought that out in the open so that it's very obvious. I used to have an inkling that people were like that, but now it's just like, whoa, you don't have anything that is fulfilling that you can do alone with yourself. I have so many hobbies and things that I still want to create and want to do with my life, and I don't think that's ever going to change. I'm always gonna have things where I can be alone with myself and enjoy myself and further improve who I am as a human being. We might have biological imperatives that tell us that we should have kids so we can further our genetic species and our race and all of that stuff, but I personally don't logically find any of those relevant or important to me. There is no inherent purpose to life other than the fact that we are living life and we will continue to do so. So life and your purpose is what you make it, and I decide to choose what I want to do with my life, and that's not giving my life away to children. I think there are people who are very, very, very suited to being mothers and fathers, people who want to put all of their effort into this thing that they're cultivating, and I don't necessarily think that in the forefront of their minds it's a selfish or narcissistic thing. I think that there are people who are just nurturers, and I'm not one of those people who wants to nurture something like that. And the last big argument that I heard that was really prevalent isn't really an argument to why I should have kids, it's that I will actually love my child even though I don't think so, because it will be a chemical thing that happens in my brain once I have him or her in my stomach. I don't really see how that's a point toward wanting to have kids. First of all, you could be totally wrong. I could be some kind of sociopathic, psychopathic person, and then like, that would be a really bad idea for me to test that. I probably shouldn't test that and bring someone into the world that might not be as loved as they deserve to be, because I do think people deserve love, and I think one of the worst things you could ever possibly do is not be there for your child, not actually be a guardian and a parent to your kids. And I've seen lately so many people who had horrible upbringings. I personally didn't, and I love my mom and dad so much for that, the fact that they raised me and gave me what I see to be one of the best childhoods anyone can possibly have. Of course, they're not perfect. Of course, they made mistakes. I was their first child. I wasn't prepared for, but they did way better than expected, and I would say they're great parents. So that gives me a great segue into one of my troll comments, and that is, I guess you should be happy your parents didn't feel the way you do. Bah. And then there's also people saying like, but your mom loved you, so why don't you want to love someone else the way your mom did? I can appreciate that my mom is a very nurturing person that made a really suitable mother and not choose the same paths that she chose. In fact, my mom supports me wholly in not having children if I don't want to have children, because my mom is a good mom. While she'll try to guide me, give me advice, or maybe even disagree with me on some of my life choices, she's always supportive. And I don't think any mother or father of any child is gonna disown their child if they don't walk the exact same paths that they did. Also, to the point that I should be so glad that my mom didn't like abort me or something. I wouldn't know, and I would never be old enough when that happened to care or feel anything. So weird argument. If I didn't exist, I just wouldn't exist. I wouldn't be sad that I don't now exist with a consciousness that doesn't exist. Okay, let's go to one more troll one. I saw a really good one that was quite funny. And it is, she said she can't love a child she doesn't know, but yet told all of us she loves us at the end. Lies. I honestly think I would feel closer and love my subscribers and my viewers much more than a random child or a child that I had taking away the chemical firings in my brain that would tell me that I need to love this thing that I shouldn't logically love. I would probably also be able to logic myself out of just having immense love for this thing as well, so that's kind of still moot in my opinion. But the reason that I say I love you guys, and obviously it's not like some really fucking tight-knit kindred spirit soulmate type love, it's more like an affection for the people who support me doing what I love and having similar interests to me because you watch these videos. So I do feel like we are more kindred spirits than I would be with a child. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this little update. Someone actually asked me to do this, so I decided to oblige them. I still feel the same way. I am now 30. Maybe we'll make an update video when I'm 40 and I can still tell you that I have zero maternal instinct. In fact, as you age past 30, more like 35 I guess, but as you get older, you stop being as fertile and you stop having as healthy of offspring. So even if I wanted to have a kid at 35, 40, I would still be logical enough to think past some kind of instinct that I have to procreate and nurture, and I would be like, this isn't a good decision, and I would make that decision based on what I know I want and what I know is best for a child, and not what my body is screaming at me to do, because I'm not just a random primal animal and I can make decisions for myself. If you liked this video, if you like this format, still trying things out, please do let me know in the comment section and let me know what you think. I got a lot of hate on my first video, and I know I'm gonna in turn get a lot of hate here again. I don't hate anyone who has children. I have friends who have children, and I never feel like when I get old and ugly and can't do this titty job that I'm doing right now that I won't have an extensive list of hobbies that will fill my time. I'll still have Jay, hopefully, and if not, I still have myself to continue to improve, and that that doesn't mean hurting other people in the world. It just means focusing on myself, and that's my main goal in life and what I want, and having a happy life without doing any damage to anyone else. I love you guys so much. Let me know if you agree or disagree. Thank you so much for all of the likes and views. I'm trying to get a little bit higher viewer retention so that YouTube actually suggests me. So let me know if you like these better cut up, more succinct videos. And the little random B-roll thing that we do in the beginning. I'm gonna start making that a trend, I think. If you guys like it, because I like it a lot. I love you so much, more than I would love my child, and I'll see you in the next one. Now to finally eat this wonderful meal I have for myself. I am starving.